Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to fix common problems with a refrigerator that is having problems cooling. Now, if your refrigerator has the freezer section that is very cool or frozen and the main compartment is warm and not cooling, that's an internal fan that has failed. Typically that's the problem. Or there could be ice, something blocking it. Now, if you hear this sound, that is the problem of either a relay, a capacitor, or the compressor. Over time, as a refrigerator gets old, the compressor starts having problems, or the relay or capacitor fails. I'm going to show you how to fix that. We are looking at the back of the KitchenAid refrigerator, and this is actually a common problem. You are going to want to take off the whole back panel, and obviously, well, if it's not obvious, unplug your refrigerator before you begin any of this so you don't accidentally kill yourself. So as you can hear, it's that little device with the white sticker and the plug coming out. That's what's going bad. Now, some people, you can tap them sometimes, like take it out and kind of bang it on the ground. You can get it going, but that's not a permanent fix. It just might save your food that you have, but you got to order a new part. So this is the part that is failing. It attaches to the compressor, and what it consists of is a relay here and a capacitor here. I'll put the link in the description below where you can pick one up. If you order it locally, you can have it the same day if your parts store has it, but you are likely paying 3 to 4 times the price as what you can find in the link that I'm providing you. So anyway, this is the part that you need to replace, these two pieces, and this is attached at the bottom of your refrigerator on your compressor. I will show you that now. Here we are at the back of your refrigerator, or my refrigerator, and yours may be very dusty. I had to take off the back panel, just some screws, and then you'll find this big tank here is the compressor. On my model, right over here, you can see where the capacitor and relay go. So that sound that I played for you, that is actually this relay not relaying. So we're going to be replacing that here. Now this plugs in just like this at the bottom there, but also there's a plug on that side. So you may need to get a vacuum to clean this up before you can even see where you're going, but that will help your refrigerator last longer and cool faster. So go ahead and get that going, and then we'll go to the next step here. Let's see if we can take this off. Okay, so here's the capacitor. All right, here are the capacitors. This is the old one, which may very well still be good, but they do go bad over time. And so you just want to make sure that the farads are the same, the settings are the same, or the capacity is the same, which they are. So let's go ahead and get this unplugged here. So we got that. This is the old relay that was dying. And it died, actually. And plug it back in. So I've got the new one installed. We'll go ahead and plug it in. And it should perform as there we go. Wow. I ended up having to get this device here. This is a rapid start capacitor, and this has some features. This is the ICM brand, and I'll kind of go more in depth after I get this going. Just want to show you how I have it set up. Now, we tested for polarity on this capacitor we couldn't find polarity on the capacitor. So this is the run capacitor. This is the start capacitor. And this is the relay. We had to make these jump cables right here to the start capacitor, or the rapid start. It comes with these clips that allow you to jump to the other device. So we're going to hook this up, and hopefully it can kickstart the compressor. Once we get this, I'm just going to kind of do a rough implementation here. Once we get this going, I'm going to just use hot glue to make sure that these terminals are entirely covered so that nothing crosses them or arcs or anything, and that it holds them in place. So for now though, you're going to want to make sure also that your refrigerator is unplugged. And since it's almost impossible to see anything, you kind of just have to go by feel. Once you have everything lined up and in place, make sure, because we're adding this additional piece here, this was never in the refrigerator before, so you have to find a clear space to put it, as well as a new place to place this. But for now, this is just to ensure that everything is ready to go and hooked up properly. Then we'll deal about where to put it later. So it's not touching any metal anywhere. We're going to go ahead and plug this in, and hopefully this refrigerator will start. All right, we'll have contact in 3, 2, 1. All right. We are in business. So that's all it took. So now that I know that this works, I have hot glued all of these pieces in place, and which also insulates them just in case something crosses to touch these, because they weren't protected by anything. And so now I just need to find a place to attach the rapid start. So I'm just thinking on the side here. And then we'll be putting this refrigerator all back together. Alright, so this is how I have it set up in my refrigerator. I had a little bit of room on the side, and so they give you a screw, but I just ran it through that hole with a zip tie, and that's holding it quite nicely in place. It's not really going to move anywhere. And this part is the ICM 860, which is really interesting piece of technology. There are other rapid starts or hard starts. However, this one is very accommodating. It goes from a 1/12 horsepower all the way up to a 5 horsepower. So this will cover pretty much every single residential type of compressor. And it has a smart circuit in there which can adapt to whichever voltage is coming through. So read the specs, but I'll put a link in the description so you can find it and compare. But I'm glad I bought this one. It was a little bit more expensive than the other ones that are being offered. This one does not depend on heat. Some of them I was reading that they will shut down almost permanently in a lot of cases if they get too hot, whereas this one doesn't have anything to do with heat. It also has a fuse in it, which will blow if you get too much voltage or whatever going through, protecting the other components of your refrigerator. So that was a cool feature, and it's a replaceable fuse. So anyway, that was my experience. Aside from a little bit of jerry-rigging going on, it was pretty straightforward. We didn't have to worry about the polarity of the capacitor. We just kind of went in line with the run capacitor. That normally, that's that little black box that connects to the relay. But there was no indication of positive or negative, and so we just kind of threw them on, and it worked. So I used that, and it worked. Now, I will say, some people, I read the reviews before I purchased this. Some people had great experiences with it, and it's worked for years. Mine only lasted a month, and then the compressor finally died. So I ended up buying an entirely new refrigerator because compressor repair is not something I want to get into. There's freon and toxic poisonous gas, and a lot of times you need to be licensed to even get in and start working on those. I wasn't going to get into that at all. So it was a great refrigerator while we had it for over 10 years, but it was time to get a new one. So, but it did breathe a little more life into it. And it certainly was worth, even though we ended up replacing the refrigerator, it was worth investing the $30 or $40 in parts to see if I could save my refrigerator. So that I just wanted to let you know. And if this video was helpful, you can help me by liking this video or even clicking sharing. Or if I saved you some money, you could even donate $5 or $1. Whatever you want, whatever you feel good with, and that will help me keep this channel going. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I helped you out, and have a good day.